أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإن كنتم في ريب مما نزلنا على عبدنا فأتوا بسورة من مثله وادعوا شهداءكم من دون الله إن كنتم صادقين فإن لم تفعلوا ولن تفعلوا فاتقوا النار التي وقودها الناس والحجارة أعدت للكافرين. And if you are in doubt as to that which we have revealed to our servant, then bring a surah the like of this, and do call your supporters other than Allah, if you are true. But if you do not, and you never shall, then guard yourselves against the fire, the fuel of which are men and stones. It has been prepared for disbelievers. The guidance which the Holy Qur'an provides to men rests on two basic principles: Tawheed, the oneness of God, and Risalah, prophethood. The two preceding verses, 21 and 22, affirm the oneness of God in presenting certain acts peculiar to Allah alone as a proof. These two verses, 23 and 24, affirm the prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in presenting the word of Allah as a proof. In both the places, the mode of argument is the same. The preceding verses mention certain things which no one could or can do except Allah. For example, creating the sky and the earth, sending down water from the sky, bringing forth fruits with water, and the point of the argument is that since no one except Allah can do these things, no one else can be worthy of being worshipped. These two verses refer to a kind of a speech which cannot possibly come from anyone except Allah, and the like of which no human being can ever produce, just as the helplessness of man and other creatures in the matter of creating the sky and the earth, etc., is a demonstration of the fact that these are the acts of Allah alone. In the same way, the helplessness of all created beings in the matter of producing something equal to or resembling the word of Allah is a demonstration of the fact that this is the word of Allah alone. Hence, the Holy Qur'an challenges all men the world over, those of the present and those of the future, to produce even a small passage like this. If they suppose it to be the work of a man, for other men may also be capable of accomplishing what one man has achieved. In case individuals should fail in such an effort, the Holy Quran allows them the facility of calling to their aid all possible helpers. They could even hold an international workshop for the purpose. The next verse forewarns them that such a venture would never succeed, and threatens with the fires of hell. For having once acknowledged his inability to produce something to equal the Holy Quran, which is a clear evidence of its being the word, not of man but of a being who stands above all created things. If a man still persists in his disbelief, he is only seeking a place in hell. The Holy Quran asks men to beware of such a fate. The miraculous Qur'an is a prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The miraculous Qur'an is a prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Thus, the verses in emphasizing the miraculous character of the Holy Quran present it as the evidence of the prophethood of Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam and of his truth. No doubt, the miracles of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam are innumerable, each more marvelous than the other. But in mentioning only one of these here, one that pertains to the sphere of knowledge, namely the Holy Qur'an, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has pointed out that this is the greatest. Even among the miracles of all the prophets alayhimus salam, this particular miracle has a special distinction. It has been the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show His omnipotence by manifesting some miracles through each prophet or messenger. But each miracle appears with a certain prophet and ends with him. The Holy Qur'an, on the contrary, is a miracle which is to survive till the end of time. As for the praise, وَإِن كُنتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ, and if you are in doubt. We may remark that the word employs the Arabic word raib for doubt. According to Imam Raghib al-Isfahani rahmatullahi alayhi, raib signifies a kind of hesitation or indecision or suspicion which has no basis and can therefore be easily overcome with the help of a little reflection. That is why the Holy Qur'an says that having this kind of doubt, raib, is not consistent with being a man of knowledge, even if he were not a Muslim. وَلَا يَرْتَابَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ, so that the people of the book and Muslims should have no doubt. Similarly, at the very beginning of the Surah Al-Baqarah, the Holy Qur'an refers to itself as the book La Rayba Fi, in which there is no doubt, Raib. In the present verse, again, it uses the word Raib to say وَإِن كُنتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ, if you are in doubt. The implication being that the truths enunciated by the Holy Qur'an are so clear and evident that there is no room for any hesitation or indecision or suspicion to arise except for those who do not possess knowledge. As for the people who hesitate in accepting the Holy Qur'an as the word of Allah and suspect that it is the work of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam or of some other man, the verse proposes an easy test. They should produce a passage, a surah, resembling or equaling the Holy Qur'an in order to substantiate their claim. But if they fail, they should finally acknowledge the Holy Qur'an to be undoubtedly the word of Allah. The Arabic word surah means a limited or definite piece. As a technical term, a surah is a passage of the Holy Qur'an which has been set apart from other passages by divine commandment, wahi. There being 114 surahs in the Holy Qur'an, some long and others very short. The present verse uses the word surah without the definite article al, and hence includes the shortest of the surahs in the challenge thrown out to the doubters. At this point, the objection can arise that the failure of one man or one group of men does not necessarily argue the inability of another man or group in the matter. The Holy Qur'an meets this objection by declaring, وَادْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُمْ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ, and do call your supporters other than Allah if you are true. The Arabic word used here is shuhada, the plural or shahid, which signifies one who is present. A witness is called a shahid, for he has to be present in the court of law. In this verse, the word shuhada refers either to men in general, implying that the doubters could call to their aid any men whatsoever from anywhere in the world, or specifically to the idols of the disbelievers of Makkah who thought that these blocks of stone would appear on the day of judgment as witnesses in their favor. The next verse foretells that the doubters shall never succeed even if they tried with all their individual or collective might in producing a passage which could resemble the Holy Qur'an. If they should still persist in their denial, the verse threatens them with the fire of hell, which has already been prepared for such stubborn disbelievers. The infidels of Makkah, history tells us, were ready to give up their very lives for the purpose of obliterating Islam. In throwing out to them this challenge, the Holy Qur'an gave them an easy chance of accomplishing their purpose, and even hurt their tribal sense of honor by predicting that they would never be able to take up the challenge. And yet not a single contender came up for the trial, which was a clear admission of their helplessness and an acknowledgement of the Holy Qur'an being the word of Allah. This fact establishes the Holy Qur'an as the evident miracle of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Since the challenge still stands, the miracle too lives on and shall live to the end of the world. The Holy Qur'an, a living miracle. The Holy Qur'an, a living miracle. As for the Holy Qur'an being a miracle, the subject has been thoroughly discussed in scores of books by the greatest scholars in all the ages and in different languages. We may mention a few outstanding ones. Nazm al-Qur'an by Al-Jahid, written in the 3rd century after Hijrah. Ijaz al-Qur'an by Abdullah Watiqi, written early in the 4th century. A small book, Ijaz al-Qur'an by Ibn Isa Rabbani, written later in the 4th century. A long and comprehensive book, Ijaz al-Qur'an by Qadi Abu Bakr Baqilani, written early in the 5th century. The subject has also been discussed at length in well-known books like Al-Itqan by Jalaluddin Suyuti, Al-Khasai Al-Kubra by the same author, Al-Tafsir Al-Kabir by Imam Razi, and Al-Shifa by Qadi Ayab. More recently is still Ijaz al-Quran by Mustafa Sadiq Al-Rafi and Al-Wahi Al-Muhammadi by Sayyid Rashid Rida, and finally Ijaz al-Quran by Shabbir Ahmad Uthmani rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhuma. We may in passing draw attention to another peculiar quality of the Holy Quran, that besides comprehensive and voluminous commentaries, scores of books have been written on different aspects of the book of Allah and on the innumerable considerations which arise from it. We cannot provide even a brief resume of all that has been written on the subject, the literature being so vast. We shall, however, give a few brief indication as to why the Holy Quran is held to be a miracle of the Prophet of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam.